How to walk around at 15% or less body fat as a business owner, busy professional executive who cycles, cyclopreneur. You may also have a family, you may be very time crunched, have lots of things going on in your life. Today I'm going to show you the exact strategies that we've used here at MCC to help over 500 individuals do exactly this. But also, the practical application, the science, the research, and that is going to allow you, if you want to do exactly the same. Let's get stuck straight into it. So the first thing we need to do is identify your BMR, okay, your basal metabolic rate. And just to be clear, this is crucial and does not include any exercise, riding, training that you're doing. This is just the amount of calories, the amount of energy that your body needs to be able to just go about your normal day-to-day lifestyle. Job, work, family, without taking into account any exercise. How do we calculate this? Great thing is these days there's so many different apps, websites, applications out there that will allow you to calculate this and actually do it quite accurately. Certainly if you're also somebody who wears like a wearable, a watch, a device that you carry around with you, there's loads of those also these days, which actually really allow you to now predict or calculate your BMR quite accurately and will allow you to achieve some really good results through knowing what this number is, okay? So that's the first step. Find out what that BMR is, use one of the sites, use one of the apps out there, what you have access to. I'm sure you've got something, and find out what that is there. Once you've done that, we're then going to move straight into the smart fueling philosophy. Okay, so we're going to set up two camps. Firstly, we're going to have over here a training day. So we're going to really get into how you can actually utilize the different days, how to fuel for the different days to be able to get that body fat, reduce that body fat percentage down, whilst actually still being able to enjoy your cycling, improve performance on the bike and other health benefits with it as well. Okay, so we'll start with a rest day. So if you've calculated your BMR, just for calculation's sake, let's say that it's giving you 2,000 calories. Okay, this has been calculated based off of your anthropometrics, so your height, your current weight, and your daily activity level is normally what it will take into account. It may ask you some other metrics, but let's just say in this example, it's giving you 2,000 calories. Okay, now what it may also do is if you would like to lose weight and reduce your body fat, which is great for a number of reasons, certainly health reasons, it may have already applied a 500 calorie deficit to the 2,000 calories. Okay, so it may be showing that the calories that you have available on a rest day are now 1,500 calories. And this is what we then want to try and stick to if it's a rest day. So as I said earlier, rest day, these are the calories, the BMR that you will have available when you're not doing any exercise. Certainly if you're watching this and you're a cyclist, that basically means that you're not going to be riding your bike, performing any structured training or doing anything there. Okay. Now, slight caveat to this. If you are somebody that does do a little bit of physical activity, so you may, even though you sit at your desk all day, some just classic examples that we have with our clients, you may have a dog that you take out once or twice a day. You may have some children, that you play a bit of sport with or do some activity with either before or after maybe the working day or whenever that is through the week, whether that's at the weekend or during the week. You also may be somebody who commutes. You might walk to the station, or you may even commute and ride your bike to the station or to your office or wherever your workplace is. Okay, and this is where we're going to really get into the key now, so stick with me here, as this is absolutely crucial to help you achieve the results that you want. If you are doing some of those things and a bit of light activity, not that I would class as training, training's over here in this camp, okay, we're still on a rest day, but you are taking the dog out for a walk, doing some sport with the children, or you are commuting, and I want you to add these calories back to the 1,500. So let's just say in this example, simple calculation's sake, we have 250 calories that even though we've been sitting at our desk all day, we only had that 1,500 there that we've stuck to, but through some light physical activity, whether that's been in the form of what I mentioned there, you have actually burnt 250. Now this is the key, and this is where a lot of people go wrong. They will still try to stick at the 1,500, and this can then really result in that feeling of hunger, headaches, low energy, which when you're maybe on a weight loss journey or trying to achieve a certain body composition and reduce that body fat content, that it may not be then sustainable because you're just so low in energy. So it's crucial that this is the deficit that's been applied. So this is what we're working with. This is what we want to focus on, the 1,500. But if you have, even on a rest day, burnt some calories, then I want you to add the 250 in this example to the 1,500. So that means that actually on a rest day, with a little bit of light activity, you want to try to stick to 1,750 calories. Okay? and that will keep you on track. There's still some deficit, the 500, calorie deficit has been applied here. So you're still on track with your calories. You've got yourself in a slight deficit in terms of energy expenditure. You will then start to see some progress with reducing body weight or reducing body fat content to get you to where we want to today. Okay, that's the rest example. Let's really get into the juice then, the training. We want to be on our bikes. We want to be riding, right? So if you are a business owner, busy professional, executive, I imagine you're very time crunched. You don't have much time. So in this example on a training day, I imagine you may have around 60 minutes max that you can train consistently with quality, 60 minutes. You may have at the weekend a little bit longer. You might be able to ride a little bit longer, but better to be consistent and perform 2, 3, 4 60-minute sessions a week if that's possible, rather than 1 3-hour session and then not ride for the rest of the week. Okay, so in the example on the training day, 60 minutes is the session that we're working with. Okay, so let's take what we have available just on a normal, so our BMR with the deficit applied over here now, we know that it's 1,500 calories. Okay, now this is again where a lot of cyclists, certainly cyclists, will go wrong, who are trying to reduce body weight, reduce body fat, but improve power fitness at the same time, is if we have 2 session examples. And I've done videos on this before, different types of training, but let's just use these examples in this video. I've done lots of videos on the channel on different types of training, how you can get the most from this 60 minutes, but today we'll use 2 examples. So on a zone 2 ride, on average, with the data that we have access to and what we see, we work with lots of different individuals on an individual basis. What we'll see on a 60-minute zone 2 ride generally is you'll probably burn anything between 400 to 600 calories on a 60-minute zone 2 session. Okay. Now, the great thing with this is actually, as you get fitter and you can produce more power at zone 2, you actually burn more calories. So that should be a bit of motivation in itself to keep improving your fitness, improving your power and fitness on the bike, as, if you're trying to sustain a higher power output, a higher wattage, increased force production, that is going to require more energy to do so. So that means that, if you're somebody, let's say, who's riding at an FTP of, say, 200 watts, and then you have an FTP of 250 watts, it's going to require more energy to be able to sustain that, okay? But generally, just keeping it basic today, looking at it, if you've done a 60-minute session, you're probably going to burn anywhere between 400 to 600 calories. It might be a little bit higher, it might be a little bit lower, but just for a ballpark figure and calculation sake here, okay? If you've also been following me, it's good to do some VO2 max training, okay? I've mentioned lots of benefits with this, improving that VO2 max, loads of research coming out on this, the higher you can sustain it through life, really important for that longevity, not just performance on the bike, improving your body's ability to utilize oxygen. Okay, I'm just going to move this up slightly so we can get the calories in here. So on a VO2 max training session, I'd highly recommend that you do some. Again, I think I did a video on this a couple of weeks back. So on a VO2 max session, you're probably going to burn anything between 500 and 750 calories during this session. Okay, so again, VO2 max, you're going to have to put out some higher power outputs because you're going to have to put out more power, more force, more watts. That's going to require more energy. So the calorie expenditure for that session is going to be higher. Okay, now again, this is where a lot of people will go make the mistake and not be able to stay consistent, and then they'll either struggle to lose weight or they'll struggle to increase power and fitness. It's because they will not replenish these calories that they've burnt during the training session and add them to the BMR. Okay, so it's really important in this example, let's just say that you've done a VO2 max session, you've burnt 750 calories, that you add those 750 calories to the 1500, which means on a training day, we have 2,250 calories to play with, to work with, to actually fuel your day-to-day life, but actually really ensure that you're fueling and you're maximizing that training session as well. You're getting what you want from that training session, you're going into that session with energy. We can break down, depending on the time of day where you train, what to have, carbohydrates, and the things there, but that's for another video. We won't go in that today. I've done videos on that before, but just to help you really understand this on how to achieve that, reducing the weight and building the power and fitness at the same time, how to fuel that, this is key from a calorie expenditure standpoint. Now let's just also say that we've gone out and we've done our dog walk, or we've done our commute as well, which might be another 250 calories. So that means that we also want to add those here, okay? Because we're going to need those. We've already had a deficit applied. So in this example, if we were at 2,250 with our VO2 max session, that means that you also want to add the 250. So you have 2,500 calories to actually play with and work with on that specific training day. And this is how you can actually really start to make some great progress with it as well. But you're getting almost, double bang for your buck here, because you're reducing your body fat, you're reducing your weight, which is going to be very beneficial for your health, especially if you've been told by your doctor or medical professional that you need to maybe reduce your body fat content down a little bit. One, that's fantastic for health. And two, VO2 max, the research that's coming out at the moment, you may have seen some of it yourself, that the higher that we can sustain VO2 max through life, which is being associated with living longer, longevity, improving our body's ability to utilize that oxygen, is absolutely crucial. And that means that's that other, double bang for your buck. You're reducing your body fat content, you're improving your VO2 max, and you're doing it in a sustainable way rather than trying to starve yourself or overfuel to do it, which means you're getting those double health benefits from it as well. And this really, hopefully, is giving you then a structure that you can use, a play that you can now, adapt depending on what it is. I always say to our clients and the individuals that we work with, just look at it at what you actually have planned on the day itself. Is it going to be a rest day today? You know that you're not going to be able to train. That's where we obviously want to then try and stay at, working within our BMR, maybe some little bit of physical activity there. Okay, stick within that and you'll see progress. Then if you know that it's going to be a training day, you can also adjust it here. This is always a bit of specifics around the type of session that you're doing. And as I said, if you've got a wearable, you can almost calculate this down to the exact T. Because when you're riding, certainly if you have a power meter, that's the great thing about training with power. As I say, power, watts, it's force production, it requires energy. So you can look at the exact amount of energy that you've had to actually produce and expend to be able to sustain that wattage. You can see that throughout the day. You can then adapt your nutrition, your fueling and your calories accordingly to be actually able to make that progress and see progress with it as well. Yeah, I hope that helped. If you follow it, stick with it, you will see progress, and it really will help you as a busy professional, executive business owner, like many of our clients. If you're looking to reduce your body weight, reduce that body fat content, but at the same time, improve VO2 max, power, fitness on the bike, then give this a go. I guarantee that it will really help. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Ben from My Cycling Coach, by the way. Been doing this now for the past 10 years. That's the reason I make these videos. If I can fast track you to your goals without having to take 10 years to get there, then I've done my job with making these videos. Drop a like on the video, drop a thumbs up on the video if you found it useful. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button below to receive our most recent content. And we are currently at the moment, if you are a business owner, busy professional, executive, entrepreneur, cyclopreneur is what I call you there, then we are currently offering a free consultation to you where you can come on, speak with us, myself or one of the team. We'll chat through your goals. If we can help, we'll discuss some coaching options with you. You can then decide whether you'd like to work with us. And if we can't help you, we'll always do our utmost to then try and point you in the right direction to ensure that you still get some value out of that call, and we can actually try and help you, send you maybe somewhere else to actually achieve your goals with it. Yeah, hope you found that useful. See you in the next video.